Okay, today we're going to talk about something that's incredibly important but also really hard, supporting someone who's having suicidal thoughts. It's a conversation that can feel like you're walking on eggshells, right? But learning what not to say is probably the most powerful first step you can take. So let's dive in.
First things first, we just have to sit with this for a second. Just think about it. For someone to be in that much pain and still find the strength to reach out, that is an act of incredible courage. That moment they trust you with their story, it's absolutely sacred. And here's the thing, it is hard. We all want to help, but so many of us are just terrified of saying the wrong thing and making it worse. But the good news is, you don't have to be a therapist to be a lifeline. Being a good listener is a skill, and it's one we can all learn. It starts with just understanding how our words land. So here's how we're going to break this down today. First, we'll talk about what a call for help really is. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, 8 common phrases that, even with the best intentions, can do more harm than good. And finally, we'll cover what to do instead. So, Section 1. Let's be really clear about this. When someone tells you they're thinking about suicide, it is not just a passing comment. It is a direct call for help. It means they trust you enough to let you see their deepest, most vulnerable pain. All right, let's get into the heart of it. We're going to look at 8 phrases that most of us have probably heard, or maybe even said, with nothing but good intentions. But as you'll see, the impact can be the exact opposite of what we want.
Kicking things off with number 1. This one comes from such a place of love, right? You're just trying to express how much you care. But here's the tricky part. Even though you're trying to say, "You matter to me," what they might hear is, "Your pain is making me hurt." A person in this state often already feels like a massive burden to everyone around them. This phrase can, completely by accident, just confirm that fear and shift the focus away from them and onto you.
Number 2, the classic. This is our go-to phrase for cheering someone up. But in this specific situation, it can really miss the mark. You see, when someone is in that deep, dark place, their pain creates this intense tunnel vision. It's almost impossible for them to even imagine a future, let alone a better one. So when you say, "it'll get better," it can feel like you're completely dismissing how unbelievably awful things feel for them right now. Okay, this one sounds so wise and logical on the surface. It's a famous quote, and we've all heard it, but it rarely ever helps. And here's why. To the person who is suffering, their problem feels anything but temporary. Whether it's chronic pain, deep-seated trauma, or relentless depression, their reality feels permanent. This phrase, instead of offering perspective, can just sound like a cheap, dismissive cliché that doesn't get it at all. Now, this usually comes from our own shock and fear. It's so hard to hear those words that our gut reaction might be to just deny them.
Which brings us to a really critical question. Is there ever a situation where it's okay to doubt them?
And the answer is a hard, unequivocal no. You always take it seriously, every single time. Questioning their reality in that moment of ultimate vulnerability can feel like a massive rejection. It can slam the door shut and make them regret ever opening it in the first place.
This next one often comes from a place of deep personal belief. The intention might be to use faith as a reason to hold on.
But what this does is it turns a cry for help into a lecture on morality. It brings judgment into a space that desperately needs compassion. This isn't the time to debate theology. It's the time to offer unconditional support. Anything else just shuts the conversation down.
This one sounds so helpful, doesn't it? It's practical, it's solution-oriented, and ultimately, it's true. They do need professional help.
But here's the crucial thing to remember. By talking to you, they have already started getting help. You are step 1. If you immediately jump to "go see a doctor," it can feel like you're passing them off, like you're saying, "This is too heavy for me, go talk to someone else."
Another one that's meant to offer perspective. We say this trying to, shrink the problem down, make it feel less scary for them.
But the reality is, their pain is exactly as bad as they say it is. We can't measure it from the outside. Telling someone it's not that bad is basically telling them that their perception of their own life is wrong. It completely downplays their experience.
And for our last one, the comparison game. The so-called pain Olympics. The intention is usually to try and make them feel grateful for what they have.
But pain just doesn't work that way. It's not a competition. Telling someone that others have it worse doesn't erase their suffering. All it does is add a huge, heavy layer of guilt on top of everything else, making them feel ashamed for feeling the way they do.
Okay, wow, we have just gone through a whole list of landmines, a lot of what not to do, and you might be sitting there thinking, great, now I'm even more scared to say anything at all. But don't be. This is where we pivot. So what can you do? What should you do?
This brings us to our final and most important section. This is all about the solution, and you'll see it's not about finding some magic, perfect words. It's actually about your presence. It's about how you listen.
It all boils down to this. Your job isn't to fix them. Your job is to listen. And I mean really listen. Not just waiting for your turn to talk, but listening to truly understand what they're going through. Acknowledge their pain with something simple, like, "That sounds incredibly hard," or "Thank you for trusting me." Remind them they're not alone in this. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is just sit with them in their silence. It's about connection, not correction.
In the end, you don't need a PhD to be a lifeline. You don't need to have all the answers. You just have to be a person who's willing to sit in the dark with someone and not run away. That simple act of compassionate presence might be the most powerful gift you ever give. One single conversation really can save a life. So the only question left is, are you ready to listen?